An artificial intelligence rises up and launches a nuclear war against humanity. After that, nothing but ruins are left in the world. You must leave the vault and find the core of creation, which is the key to saving the world. But what is the core of creation? That's just one question in a long list of mysteries that await you. What's happening? You are in Ashfall's world, and it won't be easy as you'll have to deal with mutated enemies, unpredictable weather, and the dangerous remnants of a rogue AI. What we know about Ashfall so far is pretty interesting, but perhaps the most exciting part about the game right now is that it's planned to enter beta in July, and we can sign up for the beta right now so that we can see what the game's like for ourselves. I've tossed the link in the description below in case you're interested in checking the game out. July is right around the corner, so that makes the question of what is Ashfall all the more urgent. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Legendary Star Studios for sponsoring the video and asking me to take a look at the most recent trailer and give my thoughts in this video here. So let's talk about what Ashfall is and what information we can extract from these trailers. If you're feeling the Fallout vibes, that's on purpose. Ashfall is a Fallout-inspired MMORPG that asks the question of what it would be like to emerge from the shelter of a vault into a beautiful and scary post-apocalyptic East Asian world. What challenges would you face, and what would you do to save it? In the most recent trailer, we are given the modern-day take on the old gaming adage, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this." But this time we aren't wandering out into the forest in Zelda, we are wandering into an apocalyptic East Asian wasteland, sometimes haunting and sometimes jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Instead of a sword, we are handed a handcrafted and weather-worn pistol. The wear and tear, along with the shoddy welding job on the pistol, suggests it was made out of what was available and not what was needed. We've clearly been in this vault for a long time, but the old woman, with much more knowledge of the outside world than we have, tells us it's time to leave the shelter we've been bunkered down in and travel east over the massive mountain ranges across the sprawling open desert. She tells us we'll need to gather friends to take down giant enemies. We see all types of enemies in this trailer, from dinosaurs to horribly disfigured mutants of some sort to futuristic robot enemies. We can also see that the game features a mount system that allows you to ride, at the very least, a giant capybara. I just have to mention that I thought it was hilarious when I browsed the comments on the video. I think the capybara was the main selling point for a lot of the viewers out there. At the end of the trailer, we can see that the game appears to feature a robust housing system, complete with the ability to decorate your house and make it your own. Perhaps we'll be able to do a bit of crafting of our own in there. One thing players are absolutely sure to love is the music. Legendary Star has gone all out with the music for this game. You can really hear the Fallout inspiration here, and it's cemented by the fact that they hired Hans Zimmer, Steve Mazzaro, and Einan Zura, the music producer of the Fallout series. On the left here, you have American composer Steve Mazzaro, who worked on small indie movies like Iron Man and The Dark Knight Rises. And on the right here, you have Hans Zimmer, Academy Award winner for Best Original Score and world-famous scoremaster. Steve Mazzaro said they've been collaborating with the studio for the last year and a half or so, and that as a gamer himself, he was inspired by the game's fusion of futurism and post-apocalypse environment. So that's the information we were able to glean from the two most recent trailers. But what else can we dig up? Well, we also know that the game is a third-person shooter where players can choose to defeat monsters alone or with friends to get loot and upgrade and grow. The game is also going to feature puzzles, manufacturing, survival, and other types of gameplay. I'm very curious to see what types of manufacturing and survival gameplay they have in store for us. On the Steam page, it says that we'll face off against giant worms that march in an orderly fashion, sealed vaults with mysteries inside, and snow plains infested with mutated creatures. There will be humanoid creatures involved in secret trades and robot wreckage locked away in a massive desert basement. The game takes place at a moment where what's left of the desolate world is on the brink of collapse, and it's up to us to save it while discovering its mysteries and its secrets. In the end, you'll be able to craft equipment, discover unknown skills, and use these things to discover the edge of the world and unearth new civilizations and new human species. All of that answers a few questions and then creates a dozen more, doesn't it? All in all, we can definitely see the Fallout inspiration, and yet at the same time, the game appears to be trying to carve its own path. Unlike Fallout, Ashfall will have mounts, dinosaurs, and take place in an entirely new post-apocalyptic environment in the East. It sounds like they've put a lot of time and thought into the world, its environments, and its settings, which could make it a fascinating place to explore. Right now, Ashfall has a planned beta taking place in July. You can sign up for the beta right now by clicking the link in the description below. Be sure to add it to your wish list so that you're kept up to date on the latest news and offerings for the game. Here's the trailer without my blabbing over it. Be sure to note the music and the gorgeous settings.
Take the gun. Leave the shelter. Over the mountains. Across the deserts. Go east. Make some friends. Be powerful. Defeat all the monsters and enemies. Finish your mission. Find a new dawn.
And here's what the composers had to say about their experience working on the game. Again, note the music. It's got a very distinct and powerful sound. I can totally envision roaming the shattered and beautiful remains of an apocalyptic world with this playing in the background.
Hello, this is Steve Massaro,
And this is Hans Zimmer.
and we're very happy to be here.
Probably about a year and a half ago, they came to us with a bunch of concepts of these kind of futuristic, post-apocalyptic settings. As a gamer myself, it really kind of seemed really cool to fuse these different elements of this futurism and this post-apocalyptic environment. Because we wanted to keep it very cinematic, we kept orchestra as the through line to each of the places that you go and all of the things that you do. We also included a lot of synth, and synth can sound basically like anything from a sine wave to what sounds like a real instrument. And so a lot of it is bridging the gap between the orchestra and the synth and creating a world for each of these locations that kind of speak to the world itself. We'd also use a lot of soloist instruments that have different timbres or qualities to them that lend themselves to depending on where you are in the game. You know, for instance, there's a couple Chinese instruments that we use at some of the cities, and then there's some more like woody flute type instruments that we'll use in some other cities based on their establishment and based on the city themselves.
Video games have opened a whole new territory of freedom of how we can express ourselves sonically. And the more imagination there is in the video games, the more imagination we can add in the music. How you keep the player engaged is the music, you know, and the music becomes this river, and you're basically on this journey and on this boat, you know, pretend on a journey, and the music drives you, you know, lets you be in this journey and lets you feel different things and colors things differently, and just keeps you constantly emotionally engaged.
For the battle music, We had a couple iterations of low intensity and high intensity music, and so the player could kind of gradually go from sneaking around to intense, boss battles and action like that. And when you hear the first note of the music when you start this game, I immediately want you to be thrust into this post-apocalyptic world. I wanted to carry you on this journey.
So I don't know how you feel, Steve, but I'm hoping that everybody has truly enjoyed the music on this game and truly recognizes the genius that you are. Yeah, I'll carry on making tea and coffees for you. No, I'm saying, thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for enjoying the game. And thank you for just being a great audience at this moment.
Yeah, thank you.
So will you be jumping into the beta in July to check out Ashfall for yourself? Which part of the game looks the most interesting to you? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to use the link in the description to sign up for the beta if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Toss the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more MMO and ARPG content. If you're not sure what to watch next, check out the videos popping up on screen right now.